Hello, YouTube. How are you guys doing today? Prof Sales coming at you with a vlog update. Let's get this link opened up so I can make sure I can see the chat and so on. Just 1 second. Let me mute that. All right. Please let me know in the chat. Let's get this link opened up so I can make sure. Sounds like you'll be able to hear me just fine. Obviously, once you guys come into the chat room, if you can't, let me know, but I don't think we have anybody here yet. All right. Let me minimize this and minimize this. All right, so how's everybody doing today? It is Thursday, July 28th. Yeah. It is steaming hot here. I hope you are staying out of the heat and you're beating the heat. It is just day after day of 100-degree plus heat indexes and temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. So I'm staying inside right now doing the inside part of my business because it is just too hot to be out there, gang. So I will definitely share some things that have gone on in the last 24 hours. Of course, give you guys an update on the jeans and how that's all going. I'm going to give it a few moments to get everybody in here because I know you guys like to log on in the middle of the day. Hey, Mark, how are you, sir? And just make sure the sound's okay for you guys. No issues. So how's everybody doing? Busy? Lots of sales, hopefully. Successful. Hopefully it's going well for you. It's going pretty well here. Definitely going to share a lot of things in this vlog, but it won't be too super long because I have an appointment to go to in about, an hour or so. Mike's busy. Mark's had 4 sales today. Awesome job, guys. That's good. I've had a few sales today too, but nothing major. A couple jean sales, a couple other sales, a shirt, DVD I had up. Nothing crazy. Some Amazon sales as well. So that's been pretty good. Hola, it's Orange Day. I'm wearing orange today too. Haha, it is Orange Day. It's really not. There should be an orange day. I have lots of orange shirts. I just realized. I think I look good in orange. I don't know. But in any case, I like the color orange, whether I look good or not. So, hey, there's that. So yesterday I announced on the live log that eBay had upped my listings to 4,900. And it was a little bit of a shock. I didn't expect them to up my listings that quickly. So with 4,900 listings, I've been rethinking my plans. Let me grab my notebook. You guys, I think I've mentioned this before, but if you guys don't have like a little notebook with you, I would highly advise you get one. Just somewhere where you can write down ideas and you can write down your thoughts about a particular subject. I like it better than the electronic. I mean, the electronic's fine, and I use a lot of technology, but it's kind of nice to write it down. It sort of solidifies it in your brain, I think, when you write it versus just typing it. And plus, you can see it a little better. It's nice to go back to, and then because sometimes you write down about an idea, and then you can't act on it right then any further, so you can come back to it. So a notebook of ideas about your business and so on, I think is pretty cool. It could become a journal. It could become an idea book. It could be whatever you want. This one's nice because it has like a has like a little box at the top where you can write a topic, and then it has all the lines so you can write your ideas about it. So I just like having a little notebook to write in. But anyway, I was writing down some things about jeans today. Imagine that. And I started thinking about the logistics of 4,900 listings. As I was mentioning yesterday, I started thinking about the first thing that came to my mind was, well, could I list 4,900 pair of jeans? And after some deliberation, I came to the conclusion that I could. It would obviously require me to rethink and retool my business approach. But I did some calculations today. You guys know me, the analytical side, right? And I discovered that for me to list 4,900 pair of jeans and keep up with the sales, keep up with the photos, keep up with, just the business in general, would require about 137 hours a week, which is obviously more than 2 people can handle. But I definitely could hire people. I think I can source enough to do it. I may have to go into some more new as well, but it can be done. And I'm throwing around some ways in which it could be done, like spending a whole week sourcing versus just going 1 or 2 days a week. Spend a whole week sourcing. Go and buy 1,000 plus pair in 1 week. And go to several different metro areas, obviously, to do that. I can't do that just in my area because there's just not enough supply. That would have the advantage of I would only go back every 2 weeks, which would give them a little while to get more items in. But it would take 137 hours to run, in my calculation, to run a 4,900 jean listing business. So that works out to maybe 2 full-time people. And then a couple part-timers working about 30 hours, 25 to 30 hours a week each. So it is possible. I would definitely want to change some of the systems I have for how I do it. I may set up the jean photograph and listing and storage procedure as almost like an assembly line, where I would have a team come in once a week. We would and for the whole week, we would just list and photograph and put away. The next week, we would go and source. Then the next week we would come back. So it would be all those things. It would be a Herculean effort. I don't know if it would be that great, but it can be done. I figured, just to give you guys a number, and I haven't prepared all the numbers, but I believe 4,900 pair of jeans, if the sell-through rate remains at what I think it would remain at, would net somewhere around, after your eBay expenses and your cost of goods, 4,900 pair of jeans per year, if you could maintain the sell-through rate and maintain your listings, would net somewhere around $179,000 a year, which is a big number. But that's enough money to provide full-time income as well for a couple people, as well as part-time income for a couple people. So it's doable. So now it's just a matter of supply and deciding if I want to go that route. I think I mentioned before, I do have access to a warehouse, so I could potentially set up there and just, make the effort to get, I've got some ways I think I can do that. I'm considering it, guys, to be honest. It's an interesting mental challenge for me, as well as the income and so on. But, and I don't know if I get to it or not, but it would be interesting to try, right? I mean, would you guys, you guys would think that's pretty cool, right? If, I've listed and have sitting there 4,900 pair of jeans. That's a lot of jeans, by the way. But I think the market would support it. Believe it or not, on eBay, there's a lot of jean listings, like in the millions. A couple million last time I checked, maybe 3 million. So there's room for sure. Obviously, I would have to streamline my processes, which I think I can find efficiencies to cut down that 137 hours a week to get it done. So that would be cool. That part of it appeals to me. And obviously, it's a good chunk of profit and so on. But ideally, I would want to do this business, guys, in a way to where I could eventually outsource it all. And I could have someone manage it and run it and keep it going. And of course, it might evolve into other things as well. But, it would be a revenue stream, and I would just have to oversee it. I wouldn't have to work in it quite as much. That would be the ultimate goal, to where of that 137 hours a week, I would need to get it done. Maybe I would only spend, 5 hours a week managing the business. I would have people in place to do the rest. That's a ways down the road, but I think it's possible. I don't know. I'm considering it. I'm also looking at other items too, and what that might look like as well to fill out those listings. So, sorry, let me, gonna make sure Earl's in the shot. This is my buddy Earl, by the way. He's a vulture buzzard. There's a long story behind it. Not really that interesting, but anyone with me, but you'll see him usually on camera. And no, he's not a valuable Beanie Baby. So don't go sourcing Earl. But anyway, guys, that's what I'm thinking about with the 4,900 listings. And, I haven't completely decided if I'm going to do that or not, but we'll see. And again, I'm always welcome to your comments and so on. Always welcome. Good luck, charm. Yeah, maybe something like that. Are you going to incorporate auctions? King Flip says, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'd like to see proof that the sell-through and the price will hold. I'd like to see proof the sell-through is at least as good as buy it nows and that the price will hold. If I could see that proof, and maybe it's out there, I haven't looked, to be honest, I would definitely consider doing that, King Flip. Consider auction. Sure, why not? Okay, so anyway, that's where I'm on the 4,900 pair of jeans. Travel plans. I had that in the title of this vlog, and there's a very good reason for that. I have mentioned to you guys before that I have a mentor, someone who's been helping me on primarily with Amazon, but also my business in general. And I am contemplating getting on a plane and going to spend some time with this person. They don't know it yet, but I think they would be up for it. They would be cool with it. If I'm lucky, maybe they'll let me video some of our adventures together, and I think it would provide a fascinating set of videos, guys, because this guy, he thinks about it in a different way. He thinks big, he acts big, but he really has a firm grasp on what it takes to be successful in this business, and he's been successful and is becoming ultra successful. And I'm just thinking about, just the learning I could get from that trip would be amazing. Spending some time with somebody who's doing it at a big level, I just think I could pick up so many little things and big things that I could use to incorporate primarily with Amazon. But yeah, Tanya, you probably know who it is. We've talked about it before, but I don't want to say his name, quite honest, Tanya, and I appreciate if you don't either at the moment, because I have not reached out to him directly about this idea. But I think he would be cool with it. And, so we'll see. But, guys, there's a lesson there. If there's somebody who is where you want to be, you have to take the sacrifice. You have to make the sacrifices to go and be, try to get in with this person and learn from them, whoever it is, and however you can learn from them. And, that's a great way. Experience is a great teacher, but it's also good if you can be with someone personally, because you're going to see how they do things, and you're never even going to thought about some of the things they're doing and why, and you're going to be able to ask questions that you just can't do over a phone call or a video chat. You kind of need to see it sometimes in action, guys, and I'm just really strongly considering it. So I will let you know about that, and if it happens. Pittsburgh Mike says sell-through rate on auctions is much higher, just a lower price. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. And if it was a lower price, then, I'd be okay with that as long as we're not talking crazy. Look at my sales reports to give you fear. I do mainly. Yeah, Mike, if you would do that and share it, you can either share it here in the group or you can share it with me offline. Doesn't matter. Oh, never mind. He's already shared it. He says 2 weeks ago, 157 sold items, 331 ended, average sale price 1046. So, and I'm assuming, Mike, that 1046 you were charging shipping on top of that, right? I would guess. So 1046, that's a pretty low sell-through price. For what I'm buying jeans at, I would not really make a lot of profit on a 1046. Auctions tend to get more exposure in a saturated market. Sure. And that makes sense. The great thing about this business, guys, is as you see, if the market's getting too saturated and you feel like your prices are dropping and you're not getting a lot of sell through, you can scale back on how much you're sourcing a listing. On the other hand, if you think there's capacity that needs to be filled, ramp it up. Some free, some charged. Yeah, 1046 with 1046 with free shipping would be. I don't really think you would make any money on that. So you're just trying to get rid of them, which I understand. I'll move real cheap auctions to move stale inventory on Common Gene. Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. I understand. And you're obviously getting some good sell through. The 157 items sold, 331 ended. So that's about, you're selling through about a third, which I think is pretty good. That's actually a good number, I think. So anyway, yeah, so, oh, he gets them for 1 to 150. Okay, well, all right, so you're getting a super low price. I do not have a source supply that low. If I did, then $10 might make sense. But even there, it's like, you know, actual dollars matter too, guys. It's not just ROI. You know, if you buy something for $1 and net $1 on it, well, you made $1, and that's a great ROI, but it's only $1. So you got to turn a lot of them to really make any significant money. Mike's been doing this a while and has a system, and he knows, you know, has really good a really good feel for what'll sell and for when. And obviously he's getting them very cheap, so he can afford to lose some margin there. But you always want to think about how much are you making per item, because the item takes some time to list and so on. And you know, you're effectively making an hourly rate there that's going to be lower when you're not making as many dollars per item. But again, Mike has been doing a while and probably has efficiencies on how he lists and photographs and, you know, ships and all that. So he gains from that. He's going to be better at it than someone who's just starting out, obviously. So again, it's all dependent on your personal situation. I do buy higher price jeans at department stores. Just make sure to start them higher, such as buying new Levi's for $5 to $9. And selling between 18 to 30, I won't start those real low. Right. Levi's are desirable. So there you go. Okay, so let me share with you guys the spreadsheet real quickly. Let me get that up and running. And here we go. Okay, so yesterday was the 27th, and you're going to notice right away a big 0 for sold. Oops, wrong column. There you go. A big 0 for sold. Did not sell a single pair. Not really sure why. Just, I don't know. It just was one of those days. I mean, you're going to blank occasionally. I'm not, you know, it is what it is. The day before was a little bit higher, so it kind of averages out, you know, obviously over time. I got 10 listed. I did get them listed later in the day, like late in the day. And I think sometimes that, you know, when you get items listed, it kind of makes your sales, it makes your listings a little more visible for a while. And because I got them so listed so late in the day, maybe I kind of hurt myself with that. Not sure. But, you know, picked up a couple sales today already. I'm at 560 listings, minus the 2 I sold today, so really 558. Total gross so far is 634 on 30 sold. Have not spent any more, bought any more in the last few days. That will start changing over the next 48 hours. My sell-through percentage is 0.63%. We want to be at 1. That's the goal, gang. An estimated net of 213 so far, which is okay. Net per gene is $7.12. Again, we want to raise that up to closer to that 10. I did go through. I had 43 genes today that were going to end. They really weren't going to end. They were good till canceled. You know, good till cancels technically roll every 30 days and then just kind of relist themselves. But I went into those and changed them to different price points and to charged shipping. So we shall see. You know, I've probably now listed items without free shipping. I've probably listed about 60 or 65 that way so far. So be curious to see if those start selling and so on. But I priced those that today. There were some older ones in there that had not moved in a while, that I've had for quite a while. So I priced those down around $15 with a $6.50 shipping charge. And I went all the way up to $18 on some of them with a $6.50 shipping charge, which is still good profit. But the $15 ones, obviously, I won't make as much on, but I was just trying to move those because I've had them for a while. Same thing Mike was just talking about with you know, trying to get them out of there. Let's look at some graphs. Here's my listings up at 560, so slowly making that climb. Nothing more in the bought because I haven't bought any lately. Sold is all over the place. I'd say the slope of this line is maybe slightly down at this point after the 0 yesterday. Listed total, you know, again, the slope of this line, if you want to draw it, was probably something like this. So, you know, moving in the right direction in terms of getting more listed. If you list more guys, you're going to sell more, right? That's just common sense. And sell through, I don't know, the slope of this line might be slightly negative for the sell through. It's not at 1% yet, that's for sure, as we already know. So not unhappy with these results, but, you know, as Ronnie said, I'm probably going to get up around 1,100 listings or so before I really know how well it's going to work. So I still got a ways to go before that's going to happen. But definitely need to kick in high gear with listings and get more up. But just want to give you guys where I'm at so far. All right. So hopefully that told you what, you know, a good breakdown of where I'm at. Again, I've been really transparent about my results so far. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Mike says he got a pair of Rock Revivals for 49 cents. Nice. I like Rock Revivals. I wish I could find one that actually fit me right. They're kind of cool looking actually, but I never find them that'll fit me. They're always usually women's, but sometimes men's. I get jeans, got to buy them cheap, blah, blah, blah. My average cost is $540. I can't remember the last time I paid more than $250 for anything, sometimes $350. Yeah, and you know, guys, you can get smalls and flip them. Jeans are kind of what you would consider a small, maybe a small to medium. I don't really, I guess they're really not a small. You know, so, you know, take that for what it's worth. I do think they're more of a commodity, as we've talked about before, than a lot of other items. You found some biggies. Oh, there's that sound. Did you guys hear it? The ching. Let's see what that was, just to have a little fun. Hey, Swamp. That was a pair of Xana, the Xana die. I don't know if I'm ever saying that right. Xana DI. I don't find those too often. I don't really list them that much, but this pair sold. They were an older pair that got caught up in the 20% off sale, which by the way is ending soon. So I'm really curious how that's going to affect my sales. Trying to raise my, and I might run another 10% sale through August, or at least through the next week or so. Hey, let's see. Jordan says, I'm trying to raise my selling price point, have less to list that way. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I love that sound. I know it too, right? That was one of the best things eBay did, I think, was making that sound. Hate listing and more free time that way. Yep. Obviously, then Mr. Sadie's in the room. What's up? Shipping out 100 items in 2 to 3 days is tiring as hell. You got an offer, right? No, that wasn't an offer. That was a sale. So it was a buy now. No, it makes the sound, you know, it makes the first sound for when you sell it, and then the payment goes through, it makes the second sound, the cha-ching. That's how mine's set. But yeah, you're right. If I got just a message, it would have been just that first sound. So anyway, bulk is best. eBay forces you to list, so having high dollar stuff kind of works against you unless you have crazy margin. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, King. If you can get bulk and you can get quantity and you can reduce the amount of listing time. You know, the big disadvantage of eBay versus Amazon, in my opinion, is the time to list. That cuts into your hourly rate, and you've got to do it somehow. You're either going to do it or you're going to outsource it, but one way or another, you're going to do it. So anytime that you can sell against a stock image, or that you can do multiple quantities, I mean, I think you win. I think that increases your hourly rate. You know, because if I told you, hey, here's 10 items, go list them, go take 4 photos of each and create 10 different listings. You could do it. It would take you, an hour, maybe a little more, hour and a half, whatever. But if I told you, here's one item with a quantity of 10, you could list that in 5 minutes, maybe 7 or 8. You could list a lot more of that, that particular item in a shorter amount of time. So that increases your hourly rate, assuming they both sell for the same amount, you make the same profit margin, so on. So that's the disadvantage eBay has, say, over like Amazon. Amazon, you're listing against an ASIN if it's a new thing. Let's see. I never get tired. If I had 50 sales a day, I run on cash. Yeah, and that's what I'm looking at, King Flip. If I get up to 4,900 listings and do a 1% sell through, that's 49 sales a day, every single day on average. And some days it's going to be more than that. Some days it could probably be 60 or maybe even 70 sales. So just the time to pack and ship all those is not inconsequential, and find them. You got to go get them. Jordan says he has about 1,900 items on Amazon right now. I think people should utilize both platforms. Yep, I agree, Jordan, because you never know when one's going to be taken away from you. Your account could get suspended. The rules could change in a way that make it no longer profitable for your business model, and you're going to have to adapt very quickly. I mean, anything can happen. So diversifying your income and your revenue streams, I think, makes a tremendous amount of sense for all kinds of reasons. And that's just good, sound business advice, period. Anybody who just ties himself to one product is running the risk. Well, what happens when that product becomes obsolete, or someone builds a better mousetrap, or the way in which you're selling it is no longer viable, anything like that. So yeah, I think diversifying out to other platforms, maybe a website, investing your money in securities. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways you can diversify your income, other online businesses. And that's definitely some things I'm looking to do too. If I had 50 sales a day, I'd be burned out. I'd have to hire someone. Yeah, I think the key is, Mike, and this is what I've thought about with it all, is you have to do it one time. You have to do it all at once. And then even if new sales are coming in, they're going to wait till tomorrow. You can't otherwise you'll find yourself just constantly stopping to go get sales or to go get items, and that won't work. Do most of you in this group sell full time? Couldn't answer that, Han. Not sure. I do, but I don't want to answer for everyone else. How do you deal with buyers who don't read the item specifics? They want to return saying you misrepresented the item, example being size or the type of material. Just return it. I mean, what are you going to do differently? They can always say it wasn't described correctly, and then you're going to get into an argument with eBay, and you may win, you may not, but why not just subscribe? Why not just do the return if you can and say, oh, I'm so sorry, we do our best to represent it correctly, and we apologize for any issues, you saw, and just do a return and then resell it. I don't know. That's what I would do. Big T says, if I'm in the right, I challenge them. Yeah, and I get that, Mike, but I just look at that challenge doesn't make me any more money. It might sometimes save me money, but you're not going to win that challenge every time. If they want to be, if they want to be a jerk about it and really press the issue. And, I don't know. I'm not the eBay police either. I'm not trying to change buyer behavior. I'm just trying to run my businesses profitably. And so you got to do a calculation there. Is it worth, fighting the particular issue? And it might be in your case, depending on what it is and how much money it was and what the situation is. But overall, if you can do the return, I would say do the return. Get the item back, resell it. If that's not possible, then seek a way to pacify the buyer in a way that protects your business as much as possible, but also protects your seller rating and keeps you from any issues with eBay. Because you don't want to have an issue where, like, you press the issue and the buyer wins the issue and it restricts your ability to sell on eBay. I mean, that would be disastrous. Or Amazon. I mean, what did you really win there? You win anything, or you win, but they cause a stink for you, and Amazon or eBay puts you on some sort of probation or restricts your selling ability I don't know. You got to kind of play that one by ear and, feel out the buyer. a lot of times buyers are pissed, but they're not pissed at you necessarily. If you did everything right and they're still upset, they're really not pissed at you. They're pissed at themselves because they didn't read it properly or what have you. And you can recognize that. I wouldn't bring it up to them, but I would just say, in a nice way, you try your best to do everything professionally and accurately. And if they want to return it, return it. Hoping to scale up with full time at some point. I haven't had too much luck with jeans. Han, jeans are not everything. It's what I focus on right now over on eBay, but that's okay. I mean, there's lots of other things you could sell online. Buyers are allergic to specific. That's pretty funny. You're right. And I find it all the time, King. People don't read specifics. So that's why I don't go too crazy on certain specifics and so on. Like, for instance, I never usually put what the rise is unless it's in the title of the jean. And the reason is because not that many buyers will ask you about, hey, what's the rise on those jeans? I do get that question occasionally, and I will go measure if they really want it. But otherwise, I don't do it. Several of the 5 Series Levi's have some giant sizes, brand new, also Jinko and Silver Tab. Unless you have a good and steady source of jeans, consider adding other products to your store. Yep, totally agree, Mr. Sadie. No argument there. Jinko is the best out of the lot. But Mike, Jinko has come back, and they're now producing again. And the vintage Jinkos are the ones that are really worth a lot of money. Believe it or not, guys, I saw the first time I ever heard of Jinko was I was looking for highest price jeans on eBay. And there was a pair of Jinko, which I assume were from the 90s when that super wide leg bottom was in fashion. These things were huge. I mean, they were like probably 30-inch cuffs, 32-inch cuffs. They were enormous. And there was a pair of Jinkos that sold, I'm not kidding, for $75,000. $75,000. And I don't know if it was money laundering or it was legit or what. They were, whatever. I never been a big fan of them. I found like one pair that I sold, and I actually sold it to Jinko, believe it or not. It got shipped directly to Jinko, which made me a little nervous. I thought maybe they were going to make a Vero claim, but they didn't. And so if you're looking for Jinko, make sure, the newer ones, I'm not sure what they're selling for. Maybe Mike would know, but the older ones, or the vintage ones, are the ones from the 90s. Those are the ones that really can be worth some money if you can find them. Love global shipping. Customs didn't allow buyer to receive item today, and eBay refunds buyer and lets you keep your money as well. Yep. I do GSP, Jordan. I know some buyers like, oh, you can get it so much cheaper if you do it yourself. Sometimes not. It just depends. So I don't think that's always true. And you got to go through the customs process, which is not really complicated, especially for jeans. Jinko is a brand, Mark. You might want to Google and look it up. I think it stands for, they were known for their really wide bottoms. I mean, these things were huge, and they drug on the ground pretty much when kids walked. They had kind of their moment in the sun. I want to say it was the late 80s or early 90s. And they had all these cool, crazy artistic designs on them. And that's what kind of drove the desire too. So look them up. They recently came back and started producing again, Mark. But if you do find Jinkos, I'd probably think about picking them up. There's definitely a market for them. It's not like Levi's or anything, but skateboarding jeans brand. Oh, that's right. Skateboarders liked them, which I don't know how the hell you'd skateboard in those things because those cuffs were huge. Anyone sell any Walmart brands? I can't believe how much people pay for some of this stuff. Not me, King, but maybe someone else could say they did. I've sold destroyed cuff wide leg Jinkos for way more than what I usually get for new jeans. Oh, well, that's cool. Hey guys, just a quick FYI, if you're watching now, and if you wouldn't mind, please hit the like button down below. There's 26 people, 24 people watching, and just a couple likes. So please take a moment, like, I really appreciate it. That will make sure that YouTube ranks these videos. Yes, it's a shameless plug for my own video, but I do think we get some value out of these vlogs, and I'd like other people to get a chance to see it too, maybe not just subscribers. So please hit the like button. What else is going on here in the chat? I love selling trash clothes. It makes me laugh every time. Yep. People want the new Jinkos too. I sold a chocolate pair for $30. Okay, cool. That's cool. I'll have to be on the lookout for them. I almost never find them, Mike, here. I mean, I think I found maybe 3 pair ever, and I sold 1. The other 2 were not really saleable. They had major issues, like really torn up. I find that Levi's will sell, but at a price to sell. Yeah, of course, Mark. I mean, that's, Levi's are sometimes jeans can be, jeans can be a long tail item. I mean, that sounds crazy, but if you want to get the top dollar for them, and even if you just want to get any dollar for them, sometimes you got to be willing to hold them for 3 months or 6 months. I mean, they're not going to sell in a week a lot of times. And this is not a good time of year to be selling jeans. This is the time of year when you build up your inventory, is right now if you want to get into selling jeans. So because it's hot and people have been on vacation, they're not thinking about buying jeans yet. And you can see that when you go to your thrift stores, probably you're going to see they do not have a large jean selection right now because they know that people are looking for shorts and T-shirts, and they're not looking for clothes that you're going to wear more in the colder weather. Faded Glory, dude, I believe it. That really sells. It doesn't surprise me, but man, that is not a quality brand. That's a Walmart brand, Faded Glory. So let's see what else. Search new Levi's and wholesalers come up first with an endless supply. Yeah, Mike, but a lot of those guys are not necessarily wholesalers. They're the middleman in between you and the wholesaler. So it gets kind of tricky. I don't know. My friend at lunch today was asking me about that. Could I buy direct from manufacturers for jeans? And I don't know. I haven't explored it. I have always assumed that you'd have to have a big line of credit and put in some pretty sizable orders to do that. But I'm not really sure. If anyone has an experience buying brand name jeans and by brand name, I mean the better brands at wholesale prices, leave a comment if you want. Han says, what do you think of 7 for All Mankind brand? I love it, Han. 7's a great brand. 7 for All Mankind. It's a little bit higher end brand when you find them new. They're not cheap. The men's are the best, as is the case with most jeans, but you won't find as many men's. You're going to find a lot more women's. There's a couple of them in particular that I really like to sell. The A pocket, they have like an A on the back. It's embroidered A on both pockets. Those sell really well. And what's the other one? It's not cropped. It's not Roxanne. What the heck is it? What's the other 7 fam that sells really well? I can't think of it. But yeah, definitely 7 fam's a good brand, and especially the men's, as Mark is saying too. So you will definitely see a good sell through on 7 fam, especially if you can find the women's and the bigger sizes. They're kind of hard to find. They sell really well. Like you can definitely get $30 for say like a size 14 or something like that. Well, they don't run that way. They run like waist sizes. So it would probably be like a 34, maybe somewhere in there. In their size is a little lower than the actual inch size, if I remember right. It seems like a 28 is actually like a 30-inch waist and so on. But yeah, 7 fam, great brand, love them. I'm still someone wants gear balls. Yep. People overseas, I'm sure Papoose wants them. I sold a pair for $43 on auction. Yeah, and guys, maybe I will throw in a few auctions. I don't know. Maybe with some of mine, but Mike, maybe you can answer that. Do you have better luck on your auctions with your higher end brands, your sort of middle of the road brands, lower brands? What do you really run your auctions at? That would be a cool question if you can answer it. Han says, what's a typical price you want to get jeans for? Around here, I'm going to get them for about $5, Han. I'd love to get them for less. Sometimes you can find them at estate sales, yard sales, and so on for less. Estate sales are a good place, but you're just not going to find a lot of supply usually at an estate sale. I mean, you're going to find like, 10 pair maybe. You're not going to find 50 very likely. I think the sweet spot for Levi's men's is no more than 20 with shipping. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that, Mark. $20, $6.50 shipping maybe. Sure, I'd agree with that. You fools don't know anything about Boss jeans. Hugo Boss jeans with my Paco jean jacket. Okay, I have no idea what Mike's talking about, but all right. But he's from Pittsburgh, so we got to give him a break. Just messing with you, Mike. Silver tabs do fairly well. Yeah, especially some silver tabs, Mr. Sadie, the baggy ones and so on. And I think the loose fit as well. But any other silver tab, and you got to be careful too, because I believe there's some silver tab for kids, if I remember right. So be careful you don't pick those up. I don't think those really go for a lot. Kids jeans in general, I stay away from, guys, because I don't know. They're used. Parents just, I think, get a little skeevy about that anyway. And they just don't seem to go for a lot of money, like when they're used. I guess because they're thinking, hey, my kid's going to grow out of this in 6 months. Pure Ball still sells for me when I find them, and usually sell fast. Yeah, I don't find a lot of those. For whatever reason, Fun Stuff, when I find those, they tend to be ragged out. I just do not have a lot of luck with them. Mike says lower to mid brands for auction. Oh, okay, that's interesting. The common pairs I find every day. Levi's, AE, Hollister. I save Affliction, Rock Revival, Miss Me for Buy It Now. Yeah, Miss Me, another great brand. I've talked about that in my older videos. Miss Me is amazing. But sometimes thrift stores will put those in their love racks and charge more for them. But they can sell for really good money. Miss Me is a great brand. Urban Brand Boss. Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. I didn't know who you were talking about. Hip Hop Wear. Gotcha. Some of those, and Mike brings up a good point there, some of those really crazy urban brands with like just ridiculous designs. Like, I'll give you a brand here, Mike, and maybe you've heard of it. It's called LRG, which is Lifted Research Group, I believe it stands for. I have good luck with those. There is definitely a niche market out there for LRG. You'll recognize them. They'll have usually a lot of design on them, on the pockets and so on, the back pockets. They're men's for the most part. I may have found a women's once, but they tend to be always men's. I don't find a lot of them, but you know, guys, when you go to your stores that are in urban areas, like the more inner city areas, you're going to find a lot more urban brands. And do a little research, because man, I'm telling you, you're not going to find hundreds and hundreds and thousands of those listed on eBay, but they do go for some good money, because a lot of times they have all these cool designs and they tend to be in larger sizes, which, as we know, sell for more money anyway. So do not be afraid of those urban brands. I call them, you know, kind of like the streetwear brands. They can go for some great money. Just make sure you really check them, because a lot of times they're worn out by the time they make their way to the thrift store. Levi's, running them through an auction at cheap price. Louis says 4,900 listings. I walked away from my job because I wanted freedom. Having to manage 4,900 items takes away from that freedom. I don't want to ever hire someone to do what I love. Yeah, and that's a great point, Louis. I mean, for sure. I would say that, you know, I love the idea of building a business. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I love the idea of being a jean reseller the rest of my life. You know, to each their own. But I love the idea of having a successful business and being able to run it in a way that is ethical and provides hopefully some employment for some other people. And of course, affords my family a good lifestyle. So if I can do it in a way that, you know, makes sense in those parameters, then that's what I'll do. I have a pair of men's Levi big and tall, 550 comfort, but 60 by 32 new with tags. Whoa, 60 by 32? Seriously? I would price those high, hon. I would look up, you know, I would look up big and tall and that range. I mean, those are probably going to be pretty pricey jeans. I don't think I've ever had quite that big or that particular brand and size, but I would price those high, no question about it. Hi everyone, is Fubu Platinum still hot? Good question, King. I don't really deal with Fubu that much. LRG, Mark, Echo, South Pole, Rockaware, Sean John. Dude, buy the old Fubu. Okay, there you go. South Pole is garbage. Yeah, I don't have any luck with South Pole either, King Flip. I don't really ever see him going for much money, but maybe if Mike's getting for $1 or $1.50, maybe it makes sense then. Fubu bomber jacket from the late 90s. Yeah, bomber jackets are great money. I never find them. I have never found one, and I always look, but I just don't find them. South Pole sells, man. Yeah, the question is, where does it sell for, Mike? I'm not really sure. Anytime I've ever looked up completeds, it doesn't seem like they really go for much, but maybe I'm missing out there. Maybe I need to take another look at them. To those people stuck in 2003, that's pretty funny. Yeah, and Mike's comment kind of brings up another point. Styles change, so what's going to sell this year on eBay is going to change slightly maybe next year, and so on. Han put his big and tall at $69.95. Sure, man. I don't think that sounds unreasonable at all. I would look at completeds and solds, maybe if you can find any, but you may not find that exact size and style and fit and so on. But I price them high. I mean, Levi's are expensive when you buy them new, especially in those larger sizes. I can't believe you found a 60, like a 50. Okay, but a 60, I mean, that is 5 feet around. That is insane. South Pole had its heyday, not now. Yep, and then it warmed up and it melted. See what I did there? No, but yes, South Pole looks really cool, honestly. And if you're going to sell a brand like South Pole, going back to the urban brands for a minute, and even South Pole, guys, those are brands that if you're going to sell them, you're looking for one particular buyer who likes that particular design. And of course it fits them. So, and if you can wait to find that person, you could probably price a little higher and just wait. But, or you can do like Mike's talking about, and if you can get them cheap enough and price them low and just flip volume. Either way, one's not better than the other. It's just different model. So, I may have to look into, if I expand this out literally to 4,900 listings, I may have to look into, pricing some of mine lower just to turn volume so I can continually keep getting capital back into the business and paying my expenses and going out and sourcing more. Yeah, I'm quick now. I don't even look at my stuff. I can barely remember it by the time it sells. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way you want to get. I think King Flip, just be dispassionate about these items. I mean, you can be passionate about what you sell and so on, but if you fall in love with your items, you're probably going to make bad decisions about pricing, or if someone has a question, I don't know. Jordan says, I wouldn't buy stuff that sells for $6. Yeah, I mean, that's a grind, Jordan. You have to grind out volume if you want to make any real cash at a business like that. But, there's people who do it, and Mike is obviously, that's part of his business too, and he's had success with it. He's about bulk selling, so bulk selling is different than selling kind of at full retail. What are the retail prices? That's always laugh when people talk about this item is worth this or this. Here's the thing, guys. When you look up a brand to sell or a particular type of item, all you're seeing is what happened in the past, and then you can look and see what's listed today. But what your pair is actually going to sell for, or your item, you don't know. It's just a range, and you're basing it off of previous information and some current information about what it is now. It's worth whatever somebody will pay for it. It's the old cliche, but it's true. So if you've got a pair of, a sort of not one of a kind, but you've got a pair of LRGs that look really cool, and they're a decent size. Maybe they're 38, 32, which is a little bit larger size, and you think they're worth $30, even though some LRGs are selling for 15. Price them at $30. Test the market. Find out. The market's going to tell you if you're right or not. The market, you can't outsmart the market. It is going to always win in the end and tell you if what you're doing makes sense. So, if you've got something that you think is worth more because of X, Y, and Z conditions, price it higher. Price it higher. See if it works. Think about how long you want to keep it at that price. And if it doesn't sell in a reasonable amount of time, whatever that means to you, you can always lower it. So, that's just my idea on pricing. Hearts Pickers, Ronnie in the house. What's up, buddy? There are many different ways to sell. What works for you and your business plan. Totally agree, sir. We were just talking about that. Han, I think it's a little high in my opinion. At least put a best offer on it. Good luck to you on it. Yeah, that's a good point, Mike. I think he's right on that, Han. Put a best offer on it. See what you get. I don't know. You can always decline it. If you don't like the offer. What's up, boys? Yes, I aim high seems to work. Yeah, exactly. You can't come down. If you put a pair out there for $25 and somebody offers you 20 and then you counter at 30, they're going to tell you to go jump in a lake, right? It's not the way it works. So yeah, price it a little bit higher if you can wait. If you're not just a bulk seller, if you're willing to hold on and see what happens. I'm not saying go crazy, but I like the idea of pricing. Tim Ferriss, who many of you guys know from the 4-Hour Work Week, I was listening to a podcast with him today, and he was talking about, and maybe you'll appreciate this too, Pittsburgh Mike and Ronnie and some of the other guys. Tim Ferriss was talking about how when he prices things, he never wants to be in the middle. I thought that was interesting. And he was talking about like he either wants to test the market at the high end and, with the perception that some people are going to have is that it is valuable because it is priced higher, or he's going to be at the lower end to kind of see, kind of what sort of volume he can push through. And I like that. I like that idea, actually. I never thought about it that way. But when you price in the middle, you don't really stand out to either one of those buyers. You don't. So if you're selling a pair of jeans that, let's say the high-end price is $25 and the low-end price is $15, and you price it, say, $18, right? You're probably not going to capture the attention of the $15 buyer. And the $25 buyer might buy because they think it's a deal, but you left money on the table. So maybe Tim Ferriss has got it right there. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about that. Emily says, just moved to Columbia, South Carolina, not far from Howard t-shirt and button-up prices at Goodwill in Charlotte. You're going to see t-shirts are around $3, I believe, Emily, $2.99, and button-ups are $3.99. T-shirts might be $3.99 as well, now that I think about it. Which podcast, Han says, and welcome to the area, by the way, Emily. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Columbia, you're just about an hour, 15 minutes from here. Which podcast? It was on the Pat Flynn's podcast, Smart Passive Income. And if you go search on his blog, which I really like, I like Pat Flynn and he has some great podcasts, but the one he does on Smart Passive Income, he does interviews, and just search for the one with Tim Ferriss on it. It was an interesting strategy. It's a strategy about his podcasting. So it's not specifically about a retail product, but I like the idea. It's kind of interesting. Price resistance is mental. People self-impose barriers that buyers don't see. Yeah, I mean, pricing's a funny thing. Ronnie, has a lot of experience in this business and pricing things. And, like he had his pan he sold a few weeks back for $1,400 or whatever. I mean, he probably could have sold it for $800 to somebody who would have reflipped it and sold it very quickly. Or he could have maybe held out and tried to get $1,800 for that extra $400, but he might not have sold it as fast. Who knows? But, people have a perception about what something's worth. And part of that perception is based on the price that you ask. It's just human nature. We assume when something's really, really low, it may not be worth it or something's wrong with it. And we assume when it's too high that, people are trying to be, whoever's selling it, just a little bit greedy and not really, giving us a good deal. But at the same time, there's also people out there who only buy in those two cases. They want to get like the best one and they're willing to pay a premium for it. The Amazon buyer is like this. Or there's other people who say, man, I just want a cheap pair of jeans because I just need something to wear. It depends on who you're targeting. So I don't know. Not to bring up a used subject, but the more rare, hard to find, I feel the better I can price. Yep, for sure. And we're not going to get into the rare subject. Ronnie says, I was going to take the first offer over $1,200. Yeah, I mean, sure, right, Ronnie? I mean, you were only in it for what, $75 or something like that. And $1,200 is a lot of money. So, you know, but, you know, you got a little more than that, which was great. I don't know if you could have gotten any more than that, but was it worth it? You know, is $1,400 today worth $1,600 a month from now? It depends. I would probably lean in that case, since it's such a big amount, I would be fine with taking a little bit of a hit on the perceived value of the pan and take the $1,400 a day versus $1,600 a month from now. You know, I would probably have done what Ronnie did. I love selling unique items. List it and forget it until that person comes along. They will eventually at some point. Yeah, I agree, Mr. Sadie. The tricky part with eBay is this whole idea, and Ronnie would have some insight on this too, because he and I have had this conversation, is are your items getting appearing in searches enough for people when they're a good till cancel? There's a theory that they're not getting, because you're not relisting every 30 days or 10 days or 7 days or whatever. And Mike and I've had this conversation too, that, you know, a good till cancel gets pushed down the search rankings. Now, Google indexes it after a certain period of time, but most of my searches for my items on eBay from the metrics I've looked at have come from internally. They've not come from external searches where someone just went to Google and said, hey, I want to buy a pair of, you know, 511 Levi's 3432. That's not where most people are finding my items. They're finding my items on eBay itself. So they're searching on eBay. So you got to think about what's the best way to keep your items out there in front of people for eBay. And that's why I've started going back to the 30-day one. Did the chat freeze or something, guys? I don't see anybody. All of a sudden it looked like it stopped. Maybe I froze. It's entirely possible. Yeah, it's like it's, oh, there he goes. Sadie, you have to have a huge inventory that way. Yeah, and that might not be horrible, Jordan. I mean, if you can tie up, this is my thinking on this, on a huge inventory, because obviously I'm talking about 4,900 pair of jeans, right, guys? If you can tie up, if you're going to tie up 5,000 items worth of inventory, right? Which is what I'm talking about doing. And, you know, you're only going to sell a little percentage of that every day, every week, whatever. My thought is you should try to be into those items for as little as possible. If I had to spend $20 for every pair of jeans I bought, and, you know, I'm going to have a 5,000 item inventory, I mean, that's $100,000 in inventory sitting there. And I'm not getting the utilization of that capital while it's sitting there until one sells. On the other hand, you know, 5,000 items at $5 a piece is not nearly as much. What is that? 25 grand. You know, I don't know, but other people might have a different approach about that. But if you're going to tie up a lot of items in inventory, I would try to keep your cost of goods, your acquisition costs low, because you're going to put a tremendous amount of capital on the sidelines unless you're selling through at an incredibly fast rate, which is not the case on most items on eBay. You're just not going to sell through at, you know, 50 items a day unless you have a tremendous amount of items in a commodity category like jeans, for instance. So anyway, that's my thought. Mike says, we don't like you. We don't like Pittsburgh, Mike. No one likes Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Just messing. But really, we don't. No, chat didn't freeze. That can be a lot of money tied up. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to find a good balance between the fast nickel and the slow dime. I find the items I personally like to tend to put high. Yeah, that's always the question, right, Matt? It's like, how do you do that? Nickish, hey, can someone please check out my vlogs? All right, Nick. Well, they're probably going to now, so thanks for spamming my channel with your ad, but it's all right. It's fine. So when you list a new eBay item, suggest to you the range. Yeah, it does, Mark, but I don't really go by that anymore because it's all over the place. I can, like the other day, I listed the exact same jean twice. It was just one was a different wash. and the range was totally different the second time. You know, who knows? It went way up. I don't know. It's okay, Nick. No worries. No worries, my friend. Just messing with you. With a commodity like Levi's, I find it Misty True. Misty True, Mark. Who is this Misty? And does your wife know? I work so hard on them and not enough people watch my vlogs. Yeah. Well, go get in your groups, Nick, and start making friends with people in Facebook groups and online groups, and you will start making contacts, and you can, you know, start building an audience that way. It can be done. I was sitting here with 1 subscriber in February of this month. So, hey, I'm proof it can be done. And, you know, I'm by no means got it all nailed down. I listed some Levi's this morning and went with eBay suggesting on the low end to move them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know really how eBay's algorithm works, Mark, for that. I just find it a lot of times just kind of all over the place, and it makes no sense. I have over $500 in free Goodwill gift cards from promotion they were doing. Sorry, King Flip. Oh, that's cool. We get nothing like that in our Goodwills here, Mike. The Goodwills here just, I mean, we get 25% off Senior Citizen Day, but that's it. Damn, that's nuts. Now I hate them even more. Yeah, I wish I had that problem, Mike. Yeah, so. All right, guys. Well, look, I am going to have to run here in a moment and probably wrap this up. So great vlog today. Really appreciate it. 40 people watching. That's insane. Please hit the like button if you wouldn't mind. For all you that's there now, with only 13 likes, 2 dislikes, who the heck disliked this? Bring them to me. But just kidding. Just got a bump from 165. Nice, MJ. That's awesome, man. Yeah, so yeah, please hit the like button down below, guys, if you wouldn't mind. Leave me a comment once this video posts. It'll take a little while to process. These longer ones take, 10 minutes or so to sort of process. And leave me a comment. Also, before I forget to mention, if you go to my channel, the homepage on the channel art page, you can see down there, and there's now some social media links. So Prof Sales is on social media. Go figure. So if you want to subscribe to Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat are all on there. Periscope, I can't remember if I have that one on there yet or not. But please go ahead and subscribe if you like. I'm going to start putting some other content on there that I don't always put on this channel. Obviously, I'm still learning those platforms and how to use them, so give me a break. But in any case, just hit those if you like and subscribe. They're also going to be I'm going to start leaving them in the description of the videos as well. Well, you should qualify for that senior discount. Not quite, but I do get asked, which is funny. I'm like, I don't look 65. Get out of here. But yeah, so if you want to subscribe to me on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and so on, guys, please do so. I would appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below. Hit the like button before you leave, and subscribe to my channel if you want. All right, guys. Well, great hangout today. Man, you guys were killing it in the comments. Tremendous information. Anyone who misses the live chat means I feel like misses out. Like we've got this secret trove of information. And I really appreciate that. You guys really bring it. So, all right, guys. Well, I will talk to you soon. I'll keep you posted. And as always, Prof Sales saying good sales to you, my friends. Take care.